It's the year of the bag. Once you get you some cash, get up off of your ass.
Welcome to the All Energy Podcast. We finally back. I know it's been a while. It's been a busy 2 weeks. Has been about 2 weeks. It's been a real busy 2 weeks, but we back. But we've been doing a lot of studying tonight, right?
Right.
A whole lot of studying. Whole lot of different subjects also, and we'll get into them later. How you been feeling?
Man, I've been feeling great, man. I've been excited ever since I seen the topic about what we were going to talk about tonight, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was alien intervention into the human DNA.
Right.
Where aliens put us here, created our DNA, and this is how we became to be.
Yeah, and I seen I'm in a Facebook group and I seen people talk about it a lot. I also found a post about it I shared yesterday. That was just interesting to me. I love the picture of it, kind of funny looking, but I love that also. Well, I'm trying to figure out where we should start on it, because or maybe we shouldn't start with it. Maybe we'll get to that.
Right.
Something I wanted to ask you first. It's something I've been thinking about all day. I've been thinking about this since the other day, actually. What you think about daylight saving time? You think daylight saving time real, or do you think that's just a hoax?
Man, I hadn't really put much thought into it till the other day that I seen you work. You know, you work 12-hour shifts, and it kicks back an hour. So actually, they got 13 out of you yesterday or the day before.
What, Sunday? Was it Sunday morning?
But you made a good point in the comment where you said, you know, it was getting dark around 9 o'clock. It changed that one day, and the very next day it's dark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I don't know why they would do it. I don't know why that would be. I'm thinking of doing something to our body. I'm going to explain to you how I felt once it happened. That extra hour seemed like it turned into 5 extra hours. Once 1 o'clock hit, 1:59 hit, and once it was supposed to change to 2 o'clock, it went back to 1 o'clock. And when that happened, and the night seemed so much longer, it didn't seem like an hour.
What is the purpose of daylight savings time anyway? Say we didn't change the clocks back. You would have still went to work at the same time you did, and you got off at the same time you did, except it would have been dark. For you, it has no effect. You go to work dark, you get back home, it's dark.
Dark, yeah. But see, that's the question. Why? I even read what some places don't do it anymore. They don't set their clocks back anymore. They don't set them. Sometimes don't we set them forward?
Yeah, we do. Spring forward, fall back.
Yeah, some places stop doing it. So go ahead.
What is the main purpose? Just to be more daylight in your day? I don't really understand.
I'm starting it. I think it's a deeper meaning to all of it, and I'm always feeling like it's some way getting over on us, but I don't know. I feel like everything go back to money. if they can't make money off of that extra hour, I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I feel like when it's 5:30 and 6 o'clock, I'm feeling like it's really 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I just don't know. It's weird to me. I can't figure daylight saving time out.
And the body has something called circadian rhythm, a natural biological clock that it uses by itself without no timepiece. And they say people that work there, they screw theirs up. You know.
Yeah.
The hormones in your brain, melatonin, get you all screwed up. What do you think about it?
I bet you mine gone.
Yeah.
I bet you mine, because I don't really have a sleep schedule. Like, I don't have. I'm not going to bed every night at 8:30. Sometimes I'm going to bed at 8:30. Well, 11 at night, and sometimes I'm going to bed at 11 in the morning. So whatever that clock is for me, it's probably gone. I don't have it.
If daylight savings time is a conspiracy, because everything's a conspiracy one way or the other,
Yeah,
what would be the gain from the people that are
that's what I'm trying to figure out. What like I'm saying, everything go back to money. What would be the money? How would you make money off of daylight saving time? I don't get it, because you ain't adding extra hours to people working. I don't know. I mean, somebody chime in if you want to and let us know. Go.
I wonder that extra hour that you gave the company that you work for times the 8 billion people that are in the world. Wonder what money that produces for that 1 hour each year.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. That one extra hour could be so much money.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars. Summer and fall.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sum up with daylight saving time.
we started this discussion with a lot of things. You know, we actually wrote down on a piece of paper the things we wanted to look and stuff like that. And me and him sat down. He got his phone, I got my phone, and we just started popping Google awful questions about everything. And you know, and within an hour, we became so educated in so many things that at the end of the broadcast adjournment, we're going to show you some things related to it that I found amazing. There's nothing you can hardly find in the world of creation that does not have a religious preference, a background. All other countries and stuff. And we found it for you tonight with
Before we tell them what growing up from the day you was born until probably your teenage years or early adulthood, where did you believe people came from?
Well, man, you know, I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm a alien fanatic. I believe there's something else there. I always want to know how something works. I believe there's an answer to it. You know, it might be mystical at first, but when science gets involved, like when I went to school, it's a good question. There was two things. I was taught in school. We said to pledge allegiance to the flag,
Right.
and we prayed. But here's the main thing. My school.
Did y'all praise it?
That's how. Yeah, I'm old. 46.
they had took it away from us.
But they taught a class on evolution. Guess what? They didn't teach that class. You know why?
Why?
Because it was a given that God created man. There wasn't nothing that we evolved from apes. The evolution theory did not exist at the time when I went to school.
Right.
You know, that was a no-no.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I also feel like a lot of people are afraid to question anything outside of that, outside of the Bible and the things. But you only feel most of the time. I feel like we only believe something because nobody taught us anything different.
Yeah.
So,
and even when schools were allowed to teach something different, the curriculum became the Big Bang Theory. That's the two things you had. God created man, that's the end of it, or you had the Big Bang Theory, which poof, a bunch of stuff happened, crowd bloom, and we just happened to be the lucky ones and the universe got created.
That bring back a memory for me. I don't remember what grade it was. I gotta tell you, the teacher did an experiment and had us. They split down the middle. We had a project where you either believe in the biblical theory or the Big Bang Theory, and she had everybody in the class pretty much do like a report on which one you believed and why you believed it. I always been weird, so for some reason, I don't know about the Big Bang Theories though. I don't know, but just so I could be different, because mostly everybody put biblical. I promise you, maybe I will be with me and one other person that did our report on the Big Bang Theory. I don't know why I did it. I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. But I'm kind of glad I done that now, because
that's even a conspiracy within itself, the Big Bang Theory. And let me tell you why. Because when the Big Bang Theory was introduced into the elementary schools to teach a form of science into the evolution of man, it wasn't based on that. It was based on science, astrological signs, the planets, the involvement, unexplainable force. Just as unexplainable as God is, it happened. We know it's happened because of our existence. We must believe. So you have all the religious people versus all the scientific people, but what you really have is a secret message that years later you can put into it. Through the Big Bang Theory, you got introduced to evolution, that man came from ape.
But
microorganisms grew off of water, happened.
The thing that I think that the argument between the two parties was, the biblical theory, it gives reason. It gives, it's a reason why men here is more to life than just existing, than just doing what we do every day. The Big Bang Theory kind of just like, why? why was we what? So how did we evolve into this? How did we get to this point? Now what? Are we just here to do what we've been doing?
Exactly.
So the biblical give more reason for why we here. For
and that's an explanation. I always hated the fact that some states for so long have been held down by religious beliefs. And I'm not saying that the beliefs are wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
Right,
It's just
no,
the fact
no,
that
no.
you will not teach this criteria in science because you will not. It goes against the education of your religious beliefs with your children
right.
to teach things, you know. And as we went out tonight, man, you know, kids today, you ain't got a chance.
No, and also with the it tripped me out when I get to thinking about us just following what we've been taught to follow. But
Well, what was it like when you went to school? Do you remember about the education? Where did man come from that you was taught when you went to school?
that's just like everybody else. It's crazy because even at a young age, I always questioned everything. Not even questioning it as in a way like I don't take anything and throw it out the door.
Right.
I listen to everything, and I believe that we can take parts of everything and use it. But also, what I went to church like everybody else did. I listened to what they were saying, and I don't rule any of that out. But the thing is, my argument with people is that nothing is a fact. Like we just don't know. I humble myself enough to say I don't know what I am. I don't know where I came from. I don't know where I'm going. Nobody on the face of the earth can say they know exactly what a human is. They know exactly what they're doing.
A prime example of what what I was torn between was I love individuals who are different. I love a person who thinks outside the box. I grew up in the era of where my idols was Nikola Tesla,
Yeah.
Einstein, you know, Edison, the inventions. Taking something from nothing and you're getting this, you're getting calculus
Right.
from people who are using farm, cows, plows, no electricity, and they're giving you the fundamental of calculus.
Right.
You know, the mathematics of it. That's what caught my eye. Where did that come from? And seeing that, I seen right there that was universal.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about that. I'll never figure out some of the stuff they figured out because I'm so bad at math. But I forgot to mention earlier too when we were talking about the Nikola Tesla and the secrets of 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah.
One day I sat here and I was trying to figure out what you're talking about. Nobody don't figure that out. Nobody know what that's about. And what we were talking about earlier too, what we kind of figured out with what was that called? The mathematics.
60-20 Anunnaki counting system.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But just to shortcut it right fast, why I say about the religion part, I'm a God-fearing man. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the text. And the reason I say I believe in those things is because I've been taught that during times of hopelessness, the only thing that I've needed to do was to just believe. And I've been points in my life where that was better than anything that I had. But in my mindset of educated mind, I believe that everything has a purpose, and you call it by whatever name you want to, it's still a form of science, religion, all of it's the same thing, just goes by different names.
Right.
You know?
I got a question. What do you like? Just honestly answer the question. It don't like any beliefs, any knowledge you have, anything you read, anything you feel. What do you feel happen to people when we die?
All right. I believe that when you die, well, I'd like to know that if I'm dying and my last breath I'm going to take, that there, all the religious things good, I've been good enough to do it and stuff like that. But I like to believe that we're a consciousness. like anything else that dies, like energy. All forms of energy are always around.
Right.
Energy really, it may dissipate, but it just goes someplace else. Our
Right.
body is working energy. You know, that's not saying going to reincarnation. I'm a dog today or a cat today. But, you know, I'm more on the things that there's civilizations, in my beliefs, have been here. We are 10 times smarter, a billion times smarter then, more advanced civilizations
Yeah,
that
yeah,
lived on
it
this
seems
planet
that way.
than live on it now.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe all the things that we consider mysteries and sciences and, you know, all the stuff that you come across, amazing things. Like the day we went over and we're looking for things, and I seen this guy on Ancient Aliens. He's an Indian guy, uneducated but real spiritual guy, and he's got this special place. They go right outside his place in India, and it is like the mecca of the Indian people where they go.
Is he isolated?
Yeah,
when
he's
he
very
goes?
isolated, but he's
Yeah.
a mathematician, and he comes up with these theories at the time on astrophysics that are never heard of. Science, matter of fact, I just read an article where scientists today spent 13 years going over one paragraph of some of his notes to come up a way to measure the gravitational pull of black holes.
What?
And biomechanics, everything, quantum mechanics is what we use this guy's do, who was born in 1869. Now, when asked, how did you come up with this information, with these things, he said he got it from a place called the GG. It's a spiritual realm where all
Right.
the universal information comes
Right.
together, and you can link into it and gather pieces of information that comes from all over, everybody.
Yeah, I heard of it because Tesla called it a source in the universe in which he received knowledge. He was only a receiver of knowledge, and that's what it kind of reminded me of. Do you feel people aware? Do you feel once we die, we aware that we did?
I believe that when two people talk on the same wavelength about the same thing, that little realm, that little door into what I just mentioned, opens up. Like, for example, when me and you started talking on stuff today, we mentioned different things back and forth, and it seemed like instantaneously, without you're saying that and I'm saying that, I'll pick something and boom, you hit, and there it would be.
Oh yeah.
Vice versa.
The celebrity I was talking about, like we like you're saying, it was the same wavelength connection,
Yeah.
same vibration.
Okay. What is you're a spiritual guy? I've seen you change over the years and become the man that you go.
Yeah.
But what do you believe when you die? What do you believe, or what? I don't even like the word believe. What do you think is a possibility you would like to happen? Your beliefs take you to where after death, is there any more Quentin?
No, what I am now, I feel is gone. I don't feel when we die. I feel like I don't even feel like we'll be aware that we was ever here. Sometimes I feel like when we die, sometimes I have felt that this is just it. Sometimes I felt that this is all we get. We get this, and it's nothing else. But then I think about it. Maybe maybe death is kind of like an ascension from this. You kind of graduate from being in this form. Maybe the energy within us go on. It continue to flow, and maybe it return to the universe because we universal. Maybe it returned to that form, but I don't think it's something we won't be aware of it. The energy probably get experience from it, if there's something, but I won't remember this. I won't remember none of this. I kind of feel like that's how it would be. I don't know. I mean,
This is what I've had a problem with my whole entire life.
yeah.
I've been in situations where I like really buckled down. I studied the Bible, reference book. I went to individuals. I've always been smart enough to go to a person who knows, people that I do believe that they walk the walk, they do this for my spiritual enlightenment to find it, and it would get to places, many answers. A person who is stripped in the Bible and you ask any religious questions can go to it and find it because They've studied. They know where it's at. There's thing. But my point is, you get to things where certain things in the Bible or any religious text says it's a analogy. You know, the Bible is word for word what it is, but certain things are an analogy
Right.
in the Bible. You know, this is not exactly what they're meaning. This is God's descending from. Example, Elijah. Ezekiel. Ezekiel is one of my favorites. Since I'm a UFO fanatic, Ezekiel, the first book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 4, speaks of when he sees a light come down from heaven, and it's got 4 faces on it, of a man, of an eagle, a lion, and I forget what the third one is, and it's a whirlwind, and it is a UFO's perfect example of a UFO encounter, aliens coming down, however
Right.
you want to put it. But the interpretation of this is God is sending his angels down, and this is how Ezekiel sees it. He don't talk about no aliens.
Right. It's a connection. I know, like a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it does. It can be, and sometimes it seems connected.
What if God was an analogy? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. But my thing is that analogy of about something that people don't agree with.
So God would be more of a title. That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of all the creation stories, every religion we know, if you're a full believer in your religion, you are what you are, and I admire who you are, and, you know, education is what backs it up. But there's a point that you have to come to the conclusion. You can, biblical people study ancient cities, you know, Texas. They know to find the proof.
If that was the case with you, so what? When you hear stories about Jesus, do you feel like, and they talk about Jesus performing miracles, and that he could come in a room and everybody would feel relieved and relaxed and healed, just performing all sorts of miracles? Do you feel like Jesus could have just been a highly enlightened man, or?
I don't, because I feel like from birth, where each individual group has a misconception. Since I've been birthed, guess what? Jesus has always been up on the wall with the long hair, and guess what color he is?
White.
He's white.
Yeah.
But what was Jesus? A Jew?
Yeah.
He was a Jew. And I think, where was he born at? I believe he was born in Bethlehem.
Right.
You know, what is that? Israel?
Yeah, Israel, right?
Is it in Israel where he's born at? But the point being is, you're not that descent, and you're not born there, and you're not coming out Caucasian. And Jesus is not a white guy, according to the biblical text. He could not possibly have been. He could not live there. You know, the Egyptians, all that. You know, I do not see nowhere in the text where white was a color of Jesus. So therefore,
well, that's when we get over here to America, and maybe the European teachings.
Well, that couldn't have been Jesus. The Jesus
Yeah.
that I've seen all my life could not have possibly been the Jesus that I'm supposed to understand and believe in. Where did that picture come from?
They said it was some Italian dude on the picture. I don't know, but I have looked into some stuff where it was saying that the picture of him that we see, I can't remember the dude's name, but he was some Italian guy, and they took a picture of him and then started saying it was Jesus.
I heard a crazy story about that picture. The Last Supper, I heard that a painting was painted, and the guy went around, and he was commissioned by the Roman Catholic Church to paint the Last Supper of Jesus. So he started with the piece. He wanted Jesus to be the centerpiece.
Right.
So he went out there and he found the perfect guy who fit the criteria, and he painted Jesus in the middle. And over many years, he went and painted all the apostles. Well, the last one that he painted was, of course, going to be the guy that betrayed him. You know, what was his name? The apostle that betrayed him, cut his ear off.
Was it Judas?
Judas.
Yeah, Judas.
Judas betrayed him. Well, this painter went back and he found the lowest form of person he could find in a prison to paint this Judas, right?
Yeah.
And as he started painting him, he actually started realizing that, hey, I recognize you. You know, have I seen you before? Of course, I don't deal with nobody like you, but and the guy's like, of course you know, many years ago you come by and you painted me. And he said, what I painted you? He said, you painted me as Jesus. That was his.
Oh, I have to read about that one. Yeah, man, that's some crazy stuff. What you think about? We were talking about this earlier, also remember we were talking about the Matrix, and I was talking about how some people believe that life is pretty much like a simulation. Pretty much like you can kind of think of it as somebody playing a video game or something. Do you what you feel about that one? You feel like life could be a simulation, and our real body something just like the movie The Matrix.
Right.
Our real body somewhere locked up somewhere, or some, I don't know where it's at.
Is death possible? Was death possible in the Matrix?
Yeah, you could die. Yeah, you could die in the Matrix, but
How could would that be considered being deleted?
well, if you also like on the Matrix, if you died in the program, your real body died in the real world too.
See, that confuses me. It seems like there's two different things. Like there's a place where our bodies are just being stored and our minds are being read this virtual reality of who we are. For I don't understand the purpose.
That's what kind of happened. So on there, the machine world, the machines were trying to take over the real world.
Right.
So they had a lot of the people bodies stored.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see now. Technology had got so advanced, virtual reality had took over, and we didn't realize that we were in a virtual place.
yeah, kind
Okay,
of pretty much similar to what could be happening now in kind of a way. How many hours most people spending on these cell phones all day connected? And we like this in the internet. We ain't stopping and appreciating the real world, the world around us. So it kind of like it's kind of like it's taking over in a way also. So what you think about people that say maybe we living in a simulation? Do you ever feel like you living in a simulation?
No, I personally don't.
You don't?
I don't. But I do feel that sometimes there is a simulated force, a known thing that goes beyond unspoken people. That, at the same time, these people know exactly where you are in your life, and they can connect with you. Unknown strangers, whatever you want to be, what you want to call it, I don't really know the name. Actually, I do. I heard it one time referred to as isopraxism.
Yeah.
But no, not so much as the Matrix, man.
Yeah. Who is okay? I got another question. The voice that we hear in our mind, where's it coming from?
I believe it's a collective consciousness from the universe.
It's coming
I
from.
believe that's why your mind asks questions, not your mouth. But when you think of something, I think that's how you connect with it. A thought's put to you, and you can seek that thought. You ever worked out a problem you had and it seemed unworkable, and as you changed your attitude or your environment that day and still thought about it, you've
Right.
seen how you
Yeah,
put it right through it.
yeah. I'm actually reading a book right now called The Mastery of Self,
Mhm.
and in The Mastery of Self, he talk about the voice, and he said the voice can either be an ally or the voice can be parasitic to us. He was like, when you having thoughts and that voice is more parasitic, when the voice is parasitic, it will work against you. You may get up in the morning and you feeling good, and you may brush your hair and put on an outfit, and you look in the mirror and the voice in your head say, you look horrible, go change that. That's when your voice working on more of the parasitic energy. When your voice working on the ally energy is working with you in oneness. So you will go put the outfit on and you'll hear that voice tell you in your head, hey, we look damn good. Let's go face the day. So I've been reading it. How long I've been reading that book now? I've probably been on it for about 2 weeks. But that's kind of his explanation in that voice. That shit can work against you, man.
I do believe so.
Yeah, it can work against you. So the thought is to get control of it. I feel like if you can get control of it, it's more of a oneness type thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I want to look. I can't look in it right now. We got some stuff up right here. Yeah.
See, I'm trying to.
You're more than welcome to talk to her. We got Jenny in the studio. Tell her.
Jenny is.
Well,
doing-
Leon asked how many hours we sleep in a lifetime.
Oh man, that's
Good question.
Good question,
Good
Leon.
question.
Uh,
Man, I mean to interrupt you real quick.
You good.
Could you get me the tag to her so I can see Leon?
Yeah, let me hook this up real quick, y'all. How many hours do we sleep in a day?
In a lifetime.
In a lifetime?
Can you blow it up?
I think you're gonna have to stay that way, yeah. Oh man, Leon, give me an answer on that one if you still here. How many hours do we sleep in a lifetime?
You
Too
know-
many?
You know that we know more about space and our oceans than we do why. Scientists do not know why the body is required to sleep. We know what the benefits of sleep are and the rhythms, but do you know when you actually sleep, measured by an EKG machine, your brain waves go what they call beta. Beta waves increase so much that activities are going in, and that's your unconscious mind doing repair. But we don't really have an explanation for why we go to bed, why we sleep.
Do we get another question for that one to be? Well, I don't think we get enough sleep. I think, especially when you working a whole lot of hours, and I also think with now in today's world, I think it's harder for a lot of people to sleep now. I have read what people struggling to fall asleep, so they're taking more sleep away from it. But yeah, that's a good question. Good question. That's a good one. I don't know the answer. I don't know.
We're gonna give a shout out Leon for hosting the watch party. We appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. Gotta get you in here soon.
Definitely got to come on now. You know, cinnamon challenge. Ah!
Gotta get him in here soon. Got to.
You know, I love doing this. I like to ask you questions, man. That
Go
you
ahead. You have me whatever.
You know, your beliefs before. I don't know when you changed. When I like not say change, but the way you started doing things. What was your old belief say when I first met you? You know, was like, where was Quentin at with life? If he died today, did he believe in UFOs? Did he believe in God? Was he searching for a spiritual journey? Did he not care? You know,
Back then, before the last couple of years, yeah, I didn't really believe anything, and not only did I not believe in anything, it was more of I was following just what people told me, and that's what I was going. I wouldn't follow like a hard follow of religion, but I followed it because it's what people have been telling me my whole life. I never felt like some of the stuff people told me, I never felt like it was for me. It was for them, and that's fine, but it just wasn't for me. I'm more into, like I say, I'm more about vibrations and energy and connecting with the earth and the universe. This is a crazy thing. As I was saying earlier, I feel like I feel like we should be more connected to the earth and the universe more than most people are. Nobody even, like, most people don't care nothing about the earth and the grass, the trees, the rivers. They don't care about it. We are part of that, and we need to be more connected to it. You don't hear nobody mention stuff like that. Sometimes I take off and go out by myself I isolate myself somewhere in a park, and I do some of the best thinking I ever done there. I'm out there by myself just thinking.
what I love about all the concepts is
What's the answer to that? What Leon put?
He's a
real
whole
quick?
bear.
Read. Let's see if we can scroll. I'm gonna read what you put. Let me see. I think I can scroll down about that. All right. Let me see. It's on Jenny page. I can't read it.
you know.
I'm gonna check that answer out though when I get the chance.
But the thing about the answers are, okay, let's be fair and non-biased, where I said something about the religious backup, and then you got the scientific backup, and then you got the terrestrial backup.
All right, here we go. I got you. The question was how many hours we sleep in a lifetime. Given that an average person sleeps 8 hours in a day, that means that the average person will sleep. Is it really that many? Oh, I'm
Uh-huh.
show it to you. Is it really?
It says, given that an average person sleeps 8 hours a day, that means that an average person will sleep for 229.961 hours in their lifetime, or basically 1/3 of their life. So 1/3 of your life, you're asleep.
Too much. I'm probably not
If
getting
I
that
was
much.
90 years old, I've slept 30 years of that.
All right, we got a live back. I had to check that.
Tag me. Can you tag me in that, Jenny?
You already are.
Hammer?
All right.
But the
Yeah.
topic, huh?
Telling Jenny to get her camera back. There you go.
The topic tonight really was, what was it that you had on the phone? It was, did aliens interfere with the DNA of humans?
Oh yeah. It's. But see, when we was watching the video earlier, I kind of was thinking, okay, it say they did, but this is a question I wanted to ask you. Okay, it said the Anunnaki came down and eventually after being here a while, they crossed the DNA
Right.
some kind of way. Okay, the question I had about that was what. Okay, and on the picture I seen, it had the alien, it had the monkey, and it had the baby.
Right.
But remember when watching the video, it said it was like more of the caveman type person.
Right.
I don't know, man.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing.
How did the caveman type person get here then?
Well, this is the lowdown. We'll post the video and you can check it out if you want to. But it kind of killed our concept and debate, because once you see this video, which was given by a subscriber, our viewer, was it not?
Yeah.
Y'all real educated in it, and it breaks down to this: the first known people are the Sumerian race. All right, and they're in Mesopotamia, the breadbasket of human civilization, where all scientists agree life must have started. And basically, what they in their text that they have, their text tells of this planet, of these people coming from these planets that were superior beings, basically aliens, and they set up shop to mine gold on the Earth because their planet atmosphere was being destroyed, and the gold from this planet could be used to help create an environmental safe ozone.
Yeah, to pretty much fix their planet.
Now, if you think that's crazy, NASA uses gold-plated on all satellites for the same reason.
Right.
And their lifespan was hundreds of thousands of years. But ironically, they brought with them a type of civilization that was light years ahead of us. There was no us. And they wanted to mine this gold for Earth, terraform the Earth. And they brought their own slaves with him. A genetic god.
They brought the Igigi with them as they workers, as a slave.
Same inferior, just in their universe, they were an inferior race that they enslaved and brought here to put down.
But all gods.
All gods. And it went on for hundreds of years, mining this gold till they rebuked and they rebelled and they got killed. And basically, their scientists on the Anunnaki side created a hybrid, genetically created something, but he didn't get it right first time. He started creating other things, and he basically created us human. I mean, the way he did was kind of trial and error, that he couldn't kind of get it right. So he must have made a few things, a few hybrids, basically the animals, and he felt like the only way he could succeed was that he used Anunnaki gene DNA mixed with what they consider a cave dweller, one of his previous creations.
Right.
You know, and they created us, the Homo sapiens. You have before us, you have the Homo erectus, which was just learning how to walk. The posterior chain was running, and then you have us, the Homo sapiens, and before them, you have what's called the Australopithecus, the chimp that's just learning to get on his feet.
Yeah.
And we did this. And in their major plan, they went back to their planet after us. But here's what's crazy religious.
What was the
fanatics.
name of the planet?
Nibiru.
Yeah.
And here's how the religious context. Now, remind you, in all these texts, it's the first calendar. The 60 to 20 measurements that we use today in geometry the wheel, all these things. It's no time in these texts, once we post a video, will you hear the word religion. It says that the first hybrid they created, his name translated into Adam. The name of the Nibiru, what they considered the place on Earth, was considered Earth Station 1. But basically what happened is they completed their job. They went back to their place. But their planet only rotates 3,600 years to our own planet. And when it got close, it's described as a fireball. I mean, of course, it's deteriorating. It's fixing to turn into a Death Star.
Right.
And it created the polar caps to melt and floods. And here comes all this story about these floods, these 7 days, and supposedly this guy, he builds a ship, and you know, he saves these people, and these people become the Sumerians, and their bloodline are so pure they know they are cross genetic with these guys, these gods in their eyes who have left, because you know they're not told everything. You know,
Right.
they have something, but still they're superior beings. So you know, you don't know everything the boss knows. And when they left, this bloodline became kings and queens who interbred with each other to keep the bloodline more pure.
Yeah.
Anunnaki
Keep the
bloodline.
Yeah.
And basically, while they've done this, comes the theory, all the conspiracy theories about the Bilderberg group, all these cults that run the place, you know,
Right.
the New World Order, because it happens to be that these guys, of all their intelligence and everything, still left these guys behind. You know, so this super race of individuals. You know, you got Nephilims, which are talked in the Bible in the book of Enoch,
Yeah.
which were basically these hybrids mated. This is why the slave children of the first Anunnaki came. When the Anunnaki came and they brought their slaves with him, and the rebellion happened, you became mating with, you know, they died. Hybrids came.
Yeah.
Once the hybrids came, they mated with the Anunnaki, the other Anunnakis, which were giants, you know, big guys. But just, I can't do it justice on the text.
Right. I'm gonna put the link under the video once we finish. But I can't believe I'm just hearing about this. This was
But
crazy.
Google it. Nibiru exists. Scientists from NASA have actually calculated the ninth planet. You know, when I grew up, there were 9 planets. Pluto was considered a planet. Now it's been the International Planetary Commission has debugged it as a big ice ball.
What they doing with Pluto? They just ice now?
Yeah, it's more of like just a big ball, a satellite planet like our moon. You know what I'm saying? It's so far out there, it's so cold. There's nothing to study, nothing exists on it, nothing exists.
So we got this planet, pretty much the God planet, just
But
out there.
the
somewhere.
God planet, but you know, through I mean,
I think it's cool. I think that shit cool as hell.
but it explains a lot of things, and none of them. These Sumerians, they're not talking about the craft came down and angels and the gods brought. So these texts lay out these are a superior being from another planet. This is the planet's name. They're not considered gods to us. They're here to terraform this planet, get something, go, leave. This is the stuff they brought to us. There's no religion. We don't worship them. They're our bosses.
Right.
You know what I'm
pretty
saying?
much.
And it actually mentions that worship, the word worship, actually means to work for.
So basically what I kind of got from it was that just pretty much our human existence would to be just a slave race. That's all that humans on this planet was supposed to be. I don't know, but that's what it seemed like. That's what watching the video, that's what I got from it.
But even then, even if aliens did come down here, even if we did evolve from apes, even if God, it's still the end purpose. We don't know what happened to create us, and nobody knows what happens when we die. If my DNA was created by aliens and I died, does that give me some kind of special, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just don't know. And like I said, I'll just I'll take the ego out of everything. And when somebody asks me, all I can say is, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. It's good to give yourself hope, you know, that something great gonna happen, but you just don't know. You gotta just hope for the best. I think more people should spend their time living the best life they can here, because if you don't know some guaranteed, you need to be enjoying what you're doing. You need to be enjoying the present. So
a spiritual enlightenment is not. If you go studying the Bible to find answers about life or death, you're not having a spiritual enlightenment. if you're a theologian and you're studying the Bible to preach it and to get the word out, you know, that some people do that. But the main thing, man, is your spiritual enlightenment. What you believe changes you. We've all been to church and we've all seen different things going on in church, and I've left church with a better attitude.
Yeah, I have too. I have too before. You would go in feeling one way, you come out feeling great. But it's supposed to be a positive environment anyway. When I go into any positive environment, I come out feeling great.
You know, and I pray by the text, the standard way I'm talking. I'll put it out here. Do I believe in God? Do I believe in Jesus? Do I believe in all the Bible? Do I believe in all that to 100%? No, I do not. You know, it interests me. I believe there's something, a life after death, but the criteria says that I must play. If I ask in Jesus' name, and I believe that He died on the cross for my sins, I will be saved. All right? You know, and it also goes through with death. I mean, work. What does it say? Faith without work is death. That means, you know, I can believe all I want to, but if I don't put nothing into it, which I believe is that spiritual enlightenment,
right.
You know, it's just the same thing as being dead. But the point being, do I believe in that? Even though I do that, yes, I do. But do I believe in? No, I do not think there's a magical guy up there in the planet on the clouds that created everything, heaven and earth,
right.
and we're going to die. And the bad part about it is when I die and I do go there, I don't like the part about it after the death.
Right.
That I'll be up there with for the rest of my life singing praises to Him and stuff. That sounds like some hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like people should just appreciate being here. They should stop thinking that think it, whatever. But enjoy being here also, because maybe being here is some form of I would like to think it's some kind of a gift. I would like to think we here, even if we ain't here for a reason, it's still bliss out here, and it's still great moments out here to have. So just enjoy being here right now.
Well, here's the scientist's biggest thing. It's called the evolutional jump period. For millions of years, whether you debate on how old the Earth is, you have a point a man can be identified. Let's say Lucy, that was in Australia. We checked out.
Oh yeah.
Till now.
I heard of it till then.
3.2 million years. There's Lucy. Boom. Whatever happened before her, we don't know, but we got her and we carbon dated her, and she's 3.2 million years old, and she's called an Australopithecus. She's the first. She's a proven fact that the characteristics of a humanoid being was right there in there.
She looked kind of like a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
like how Bigfoot.
She was female. She had pelvis. She was childbearing. She was every bit of human as anybody could be, except for the evolutionist change of her DNA wasn't the same. It's called Devonianism, what we checked out earlier.
Right.
It means that 15% of the people have a factor called an RF factor. That means that everybody has a negative blood type out of most of the population. Only 15% of people have a positive RF factor. Scientists do not know why that is. But my point being is that 3.2 million years ago, we were covered in fur apparently, but just 200,000 years ago, bam, went from that point to the moon.
Yeah.
Interspace travel.
Right.
There's no gap. Scientists call it the misgenealogy of science. Like, you can't find a missing link. We can't find out where that information came from. How did you go from scratching in the dirt to wondering about what's on the moon?
You think
getting there.
You really think like anybody ever left here and went to the moon? Like, truthfully, do you think it was real?
Yeah.
You think they really went?
Yeah, I only believe because you got people out there that's like us and like our viewers out there that they're trained. You got guys saying this is the best we can be right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away from that. We got the technology down here, the science. I believe in it. Do you want to go to the moon? We're going to send you up there. We don't know what's going on, but we've done the best we can with what we got to send you on. Are you brave enough to go? You know, and yeah, you got guys that just like battle, just like any war we got now. You know, God's raising soldiers right there. You got those guys that they depend on the training, the military background they got to the very best. The guys that go with it, and they go in there with, you know, as a unit. They go to these places. Right. They're really doing these things. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I believe we went to the moon, and I believe we came back. And you know, I've seen the conspiracy thing. There's no gravitational pull on the moon, and I've seen the flag flying, and it was made in the studio, Hollywood, after the. Okay.
Yeah.
But the point is, there are certain things right now in 2019 you need to understand. The technological things that you see. This right here, people. This right here was 9 times. No, what was 115 times more advanced than anything NASA had to send it together to send astronauts to space. This right here is more computing power than anything they had in that time period in the palm of our hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They had to have some, even when like something closer that was even made from back then,
Yeah.
it was this big.
Yeah.
A computer filling up a whole room. And
They
shit
sent a
like
space,
that.
1960, in the 60s, they sent a man to the moon, and it would take them to the late 2000s to invent a telephone with smartphone applications.
I got a cool question for you. Since we talking about aliens and stuff like that. This is a more on a lighter note of the stuff of it all. Any movie you seen, and any TV show, if you was to ever see a alien in real life,
Right.
what's the closest out from movies and television and pictures? What do you think it will look like? What would be the closest they don't got to making it look from what you think it will look like? Now, and we ain't even talk about the stuff we just learned, because that would say they look like us.
I think that you can go on the web and see it anytime. You got the most infamous one, the Greys, the abductees, the ones that snatch you up. They're the most famous, known all over the world. Got a name called the Greys. The teardrop head, the teardrop eyes.
Oh yeah. The original, the one that comes to your mind anytime you think of aliens.
If I had a secret and I wanted nobody to know about it, right? And I trusted people for years and years and years, and we were the only one. It never came out of our mouth, and one day it did, from a person who was very well respected. The very thing I have to do about that after it's spoken, I have to turn it into something that's not real.
Right.
I can't deny it's gonna make it look real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way that we live here, physical being. I know we live here right now, and everything we got that we can't even explain as human beings, and know that there's space out there, and know that there's there, and consider we're the only ones.
No, I never felt like we was the only thing out here. That's one of the most arrogant things too. You should never think that.
Do I think they're grays and stuff like that? Maybe. I don't know but people, other humans, other
I think it's
people
other
like
maybe.
plenty of them.
I feel like it's other humans somewhere else. Then people ask me, well, why hadn't they come and seen it? Well, why haven't we went and seen them?
That's right.
It probably just ain't possible. I feel like it's people just like us somewhere else.
Let me
I
ask you a
always felt
question.
that shit. Always.
Do you believe that past civilizations were more advanced than what we are now? Let's take the ones they make it look like they're ancient, like the Sumerians, the Babylonians, and the list goes on and on. But the very first, where they make the pyramids, and we don't know how they built them, but yeah, we know how we built them. Now they align with the astral charts and all these other things, Stonehenge, Easter Island, the disappearance, the Manhattan Project. You take all that stuff away.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a technology. Those things exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were built for a reason. People just didn't build something that still stands before Christ
Right.
for no reason at all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we always say, that's the number one. The pyramids, that's the biggest example of that, because when they saying on that video we watched also that something was left as a gift. What was that at? It was the civilization. One of them was left as a gift for humans.
And that's it. Okay, when the earth was destroyed and basically the Sumerian race was put there, the Anunnaki let them build things that astrologically connected them to them.
Right,
like
right.
the pyramids line up, such and such like that. And for whatever reasons and stuff, those things are there, and the astrological part builds up. Now, only thing I say for the technology is, you're telling me, guys, 2,000 years before Jesus, just happened to got lucky and built this with the summer and the winter equinox coming in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
no, they did
ain't-
not.
no.
You know, they had to understand
Yeah,
of
they
a
knew what they were
mathematical
doing.
formula, and they didn't just discover it on it. They didn't go from carving stone to, you know what, the universe, pi times such and such, and here I am, and we're gonna build this thing to the boom, and it's gonna stand here. And you got ley lines, and ley lines are just energetic points that follow certain monuments. You know, certain places in the world, more energy is possessed at these places, and guys who started studying these monuments realized that, hey, on this particular longitude and latitude, there's more of these crazy things.
Right.
You know, and
How do you we keep rolling with alien stuff? How do you explain when people alien abductions? How would you explain that? Because none of them facts, nothing can be proven. But when a person say, I seen a video, people saying they was abducted by aliens, how do you explain that? You think they just trying to come up? What you think they did?
no, I believe in the early future of everything else, evolution hit. I believe like in our planet during our wars and nuclear refinement, you know, those things are coming through. The Project Blue Book, you know, a lot of UFO pop up, right? And but you got some. I don't know if y'all familiar with Betty Brown and all of them and her husband and stuff. African American couple who were riding from church, very prominent in their community one day, wake up and they say that a UFO has grabbed them, took them to a spaceship, probed them, done incredible things to them, communicated with them, humanoid beings like that, some kind of gray creatures in there, went back, got put 2 or 3 miles naked away from their car, were found, remembered it through hypnosis, and everybody, you know, no chance in hell nobody believed them except for one thing. It's called the Sturbridge Report, where Barney seen something on the wall, and scientists thought that might be an astrological chart to the stars. Crazy as it may sound, it's studied, and we now know it as the Nebula Galaxy.
What?
A part of it.
Oh, see, I would have to read about them. I ain't never heard
Check
that.
them out.
I ain't never heard
Check
them.
them out. But
Where it happened at?
it happened. I
No.
can't remember exactly where that it happened, at what city it was, but it's a real rural area. And they were really the first ones with the proof on it. You know, these guys were like, I don't know what happened to me, but something happened. Your car's burned. It's radioactive. How about we do this? How about we send you into a type of hypnosis or regression, and you just tell us what happened? Are you willing to do that? And here comes this alien abduction thing. And then you got
Tell me about another one. You know any more?
Yeah, I got another one.
Tell
My
me
very
another one.
first one I got introduced to about aliens was from my Aunt Lynn. She loved to read.
Yeah.
And she sent me a book for my birthday called Communion, written by a guy named Whitley Strieber. And basically what it is, he's an author and he's struggling and he's not going through something. He's got this house way out in the woods and it's got security because he's got money. So he goes out there and strange things start. He starts seeing the lights, panels go off at night. He starts seeing an owl. A white owl's communicating with a lot of these things. And deer prints and everything in his yard. And he can't remember it. But he starts waking up to one day, he wakes up with these little grays around him, and they're transporting him out of the house into a ship. They're doing tests, they're doing things, they send him back. But it happens for a long period of time in upstate New York that he don't remember all this until he goes back. Well, when he goes back, his life crashes. He goes to a mental breakdown. He don't know why he's going crazy. He's not nothing about no aliens. He don't remember any of that things. He goes and gets to a psychologist who regresses him, puts him in hypnosis, and he's not only able to find out what these little things that he symbiotically replaced with aliens. White owls were a big thing of him. Where when the abduction would happen,
Yeah.
he would replace that. And he was able to regress these things. And he wrote a book later on to explain the experience called Communion. And you know, you got some of the greatest guys out there in the world that do this. Art Bell, you know, coast to coast. You know,
Yeah.
a guy who just sets up one day, call in. We're going to talk about Bigfoot. We're going to talk to you, and you call in and tell me, and my viewers tell me if it's real or not, like that, blah, 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 blah. But the point is, you can go through life believing what you believe, and you have every right to do that.
Right.
You have a mind in your head. Everything's not black and white. Everything ain't left or right.
Right.
You could question anything that you want to, and there's no taboo on it. I want to know about ancient civilizations. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe there wasn't no Anunnaki, and no. but there were civilizations create massive things that are unexplained. The Aztecs disappeared. The Mayans disappeared. We use their calendars. You know, to this day, we use those things in our lifetime. The form of mathematics that they use called 60 to 20 counting system. It's the numbers 1 through 6 consecutively. And then the number 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Only 3 prime numbers are in there. The 2, the 3, and the 5.
Right.
And what a prime number for our viewer is when a number is too small to be added, when 2 numbers cannot make that number. When you can't add 2 numbers together to make that number, you have what's called a prime number. It's indivisible by itself.
Right.
You know? And find out 60 is the lowest form that you can. And the basis of all monuments throughout the world, pyramid, anything you want to put the thing on, has this base period of 60. 60 by 60 by 60. But what's funny is the measurements of those prime numbers divide. We've seen it together. They divide into their shell to go through all those numbers. Those 15 numbers is all they ever used to build everything they got. Their time, 60 increments that could be broke down in 15, 12. You see, what I'm getting at is this form of mathematics that came from is not universal.
Yeah,
you know?
and you gotta, and like you saying, stuff like that gotta be questioned, because we was even looking at the like some of that Mandela effect stuff just throw me off. I don't know, that shit can't be explained, man. I don't. The one I was showing you earlier with the what year Nelson Mandela died, and it's another one about a Sinbad movie. I promise this shit. And I had other people say it. I had friends say it, and I even remember watching this movie with some of my friends as a kid. It's a Sinbad movie where he was a genie. Yeah. Have you ever seen that shit? Have you seen it?
I think it's called Sinbad.
Is he a genie in it? Not the Shaq movie. Not Shazam.
Yeah, Sinbad. He's
Sinbad.
A genie. Got the pointed rolled up shoes.
Yeah. I promise you, I seen that movie. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. You know that movie don't exist no more?
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, man. So the Mandela effect, someone to get me. It's a lot of Mandela effect stuff surrounding Jim Carrey.
So here's a fascinating one. Sir Isaac Newton. All right, before Sir Isaac Newton was Newton, he was a farm boy, poor, plowing, nothing. And, you know, we've always heard the story. He was sitting one day on an apple tree, and an apple fell on his head, and boom, he questioned it.
Yeah.
And here's it. But the real deal is, he questioned why fruit fell on the tree and why some stayed on there. And he believed in his life, that there was an unseen force. We call it gravity. And he couldn't prove it. So he wanted to measure it. If he could figure out some way to measure when things fell, but no mathematics applied to it. So, no education, no nothing. He invented his own form of math. Today we call that calculus. Have any of y'all do calculus out there anytime soon? You know?
We found out. It's all good. Sorry about the live broadcast, everybody. We probably have to wrap it up anyway.
You know, this debate goes on and on, and we just had to touch on it, you know, because we touch on everything.
Yeah.
You know.
We can leave it up. I'm gonna check it out once we finish.
But just send your thing. You know. I sit here and talk like that. But do you think I would sit down and talk biblically to Billy Graham about the Bible? No, sir. I would keep my mouth shut and I would learn from the man, because when you can learn something about anything you don't know about, then you gain knowledge, and knowledge comes power. And I believe that's a form of enlightenment that I would like to have. Yeah,
and they always have conversations with each other about stuff like this. This is what we do. Have opinions, and hell, like I always say, anybody want to talk to us about some of their beliefs and the things they into and some of their interests, let us know. We're gonna try to get the next podcast out earlier this time, so we won't be as busy as we was lately. So I guess we're gonna sign out right here.
One quick thing. You know, this is the technical guy here that does all the things you see, the boom, boom, boom. I'm the janky guy that wants to get it out there. And, you know, he's trying to teach me, you know what I'm saying? But basically, we need 4,000 subscribers to start getting paid from YouTube to do this. Again, the universal thing is money. We love to do it, but we also got a goal. Can we do it? Can two guys put together their thoughts and do it with all these people? We got social media here, the interest change and stuff. You know, if you don't watch, hit that subscribe button for us. We would appreciate it. But here's the thing that we will do.
Hit that thumbs up, give us that like, all of that.
We stay pretty busy. Schedules are rushed, but there are sponsors that are willing to go. We just haven't had the time to sit down here and get their messages to go. We got, you know, I'm not going to put them all out there, but we have sponsors that are legitimate business owners that go. And what we're trying to do is once we get the viewers going where we wanted to, those sponsorships, that the kickbacks that we get from them, we're putting them off into the viewers, you know, certain, you know, subscribers, whatever, will get those benefits that will come to us. You know, boom, this is something for you know, that just, you know, it is what it is, but we appreciate it. You know, click a button for us, you know.
Yeah, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, give us that like.
Yeah.
And we're going to sign out, and we'll be back with the next podcast soon.
And tell us if we're good, if you don't like us, whatever, what you like to talk about. You know, we don't want to hear everything good, you know what I'm saying? If it's all good, we wouldn't be here.
Thank you for allowing us into your universe.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming into our universe. Peace.
And remember, if it was easy, everybody would do it.